question is regarding the Palestinian Solidarity Movement. I know during the campaign you were advising Sanders on including in the campaign the Palestinian rights. What are your thoughts on that Democratic Party that they didn't address that issue at all?
Well, I mean, they did address it. They were just wrong. They were cowardly. They were too indifferent. They were too unwilling to engage the level of suffering and misery and injustice of precious Palestinian brothers and sisters. The Democratic Party for so long has been tied to AIPAC. And AIPAC does not represent Jewish Americans. It represents a slice of centrist and conservative Jewish Americans. A lot of progressive Jewish Americans, as we know from Noam Chomsky and others. They're very powerful, like the NRA and any other powerful lobby in shaping U.S. policy. And for too long, the kind of policies that AIPAC promotes has not recognized the humanity and the evil of Israeli occupation. See, I'm against occupation, be it in Kashmir or any other place, because they're forms of domination. And I'm against forms of domination. I think what we are about is to make sure every human being has some security from domination. And so I was blessed to be put on the panel by Brother Bernie Sanders and to speak my mind. But I've been pushing this for 35 years. Red Edward Zaid, who might be a brother, we were talking about the same issue back in the late 70s and the early 80s. So this is now almost 40 years. Same message, same point, same struggle against occupation.
So you think that the new law that Jerry Brown passed against the BDS, it is against the freedom of speech? Because that's a way that people are using freedom of speech, not engaging in commerce with Israel. Do you think any groups like American Civil Liberties will challenge that law?
Well, I think so. I mean, one, I'm very much a libertarian when it comes to freedom of speech. I think that Brother Rush Limbaugh has a right to be wrong. I defend his right to be wrong. And there's no doubt that there's many brothers and sisters in PDS who are being targeted and demonized because they have a critique of not just Israeli occupation, they have a critique of the Israeli state that is perceived by very powerful elites at the top as being anti-Semitic, because the state of Israel as a Jewish state would no longer be able to preserve itself. And I think that kind of conversation needs to take place, but it needs to take place in such a way that people are open about rejecting all forms of bigotry, be it against precious Jewish brothers and sisters, precious Palestinian brothers, precious Arabs, black, whites, or whatever. That we can have a discussion about the Middle East Israeli occupation that's right at different perspectives, while holding at arm's length any forms of anti-Jewish hatred, anti-Jewish prejudice. But it's very difficult to have that conversation in the United States. And so those of us who are part of the PDS, we get demonized, we get viewed as if we are anti-Jewish or anti-Semitic, and we just have to make it clear. And we have to rob that kind of shallow characterization of its substance. We have to be very explicit about the fact that we take principled stands against anti-Jewish hatred, anti-Jewish prejudice, anti-Jewish sensibilities, and still have a fundamental commitment to the self-determination of Palestinians and the humanity of Palestinians. And that's part of the dialogue. And of course, among the younger generation now, there's much more of an open, and that's very encouraging. Saw a hand over here. You hurt your hand though, man.
Carpal tunnel, graduate student.
Oh, you're working hard. You're working hard. I see.
Sir, Johnson, graduate student history. You just mentioned AIPAC and the occupation of Palestine. Recently, Obama signed a bill where $38 billion in American taxpayer dollars will go to Israel's occupation of Palestine via weapons. And we know that American police officers travel to Israel for training, and our weapons harm Israel. What do you think? What efforts should people take, especially black people, because $38 billion is going to Israel, and there's lead in the water in places like Flint, Michigan, and we're waiting on that, and yet we're sending billions of dollars to other countries. What kind of block or alliance can we form in America to make sure that our needs are met and that people's children have as equal right as you mentioned, Palestinian babies, black babies, queer people?
Absolutely. It's human beings across the board. Oh, absolutely. I mean, your question is connected in many ways to the sister's question before. That we have to have enough people who are willing to tell the truth the best way they know it about the suffering when it comes to the Israeli-Palestinian situation. They're suffering in Israel. There are poor Jewish Israelis